it's Jordan. This is my follow-up video. My first video was explaining the fact that I was joining the Air Force and that I had a meeting with my recruiter on Tuesday. So it's now Saturday, so I've had that meeting. Sorry about not putting the video up. I kind of forgot and I've been busy. But yeah, it went great. It was I kind of knew what to expect because I talked to a few people that had already been through it, and so I wasn't very nervous about it, but yeah, I'll explain the process. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to call your recruiter, and you're going to tell him that you want to meet, and you're going to set a time for the meeting, and you're going to go. So when you get there, you're going to need to bring your social security card, license, and your birth certificate. And he's going to make copies of those, and he asked me, the first thing that he did to me was he asked me why I wanted to join the Air Force, and I told him. And then he's going to ask you some pretty basic questions, like your address, your phone number, where you work if you have a job, just different stuff like that, like your birthday, stuff like that. After that, he's going to get into some pretty serious questions. He's going to ask you stuff about your medical history, like some examples are like, do you have contacts, do you have glasses, have you ever broken any bones, have you ever had any major surgeries, have you ever lost a limb, have you ever, what was the other ones, have you ever, like for girls, have you ever been pregnant, have you ever done drugs, that kind of stuff. After he's done asking you all of those questions, he had me take this. I don't know if everybody does this, but I'm pretty sure he'll have you take the practice ASVAB, which is the real one you'll take when you go to MEPS. But this is just kind of like to see where you're at and see if you're like worth his time or anything. And so he'll bring you into a room, and there'll be 4 different categories of questions. The first one will be like vocabulary. This is where you get different words and you have to try to find the synonym. And then the second part is arithmetic, which is like questions that involve, they're all word problems, but they involve like long division or fractions and stuff like that. The third part is the comprehension, which they give you like 4 sentences and then a question about it, and you have to answer it based on the passage, and it's pretty easy. And then the last part is another math part. I don't know what it was called, but it's not word problems, it's just questions, like random questions. And I thought it was all over pretty easy. I kind of forgot how to do long division, so that didn't really help me out there, but I don't think it was that hard. If you've ever taken the SATs, it's way easier than the SATs. So, and this is a practice, so if you get a bad grade, you can always have time to study before you get to the real one. When you're finished with that, usually he'll tell you what your grade is on that, and then he'll probably ask you what you have in mind for the job that you want to do. It's okay if you still have no idea, because I didn't really have any idea. And then he'll give you, after that, he'll kind of just talk to you about some stuff, and then he'll give you a packet of sheets of paper, and it has all kinds of stuff on it. Like, it'll ask you your job history with references, the last places you've lived in the past 7 years, and you need references for that, what school you go to, if you've gone to college, like what credits, what major you had, and what were the other ones? It'll have like 5 sheets of yes or no questions. Half of them are kind of medical questions. I personally said no to every single question, but there were medical questions, and then the other half were kind of have to do with foreign countries, like do any of your parents or close family have stocks in other countries? Have you visited other countries lately? Like, have you, just stuff like that. You'll usually have a few days to bring that back. It depends on how far you are from the office. It took me about 2 days to get it back to him because I live like an hour away, but it really depends. You can work it out with him, but he can't input any of your information into the computer until he has that, so it's kind of like you can't really get the process started until you give it back to him. And then after that, he'll probably mention when the next MEPS date is. I think they usually go 2 times in a month. So if it's coming up really close and he already has it booked, he'll probably have you go to the next one. Like, I had the chance to go to either one, and I kind of wanted a little more time to think it through because you signed the contract at MEPS, and I just wanted some time to talk to my family about it and make sure that, like, I mean, I'm really serious about it, but I just wanted to, like, give everyone a heads up, I guess you could say, to what I was doing. And then he might not give you a MEPS date until you give the paperwork back to him, but I don't know, you'll have to figure that out. And MEPS is when you'll go there and you'll take the real ASVAB that you practiced. Hopefully you'll study a little bit before then, and then you'll take the physical, which is just like making sure your joints are okay, your flexibility, you have no tattoos. I think for the girls there might be like an OBGYN there. I've heard that, I'm not positive, but I'll let you know when I do the video. There is a drug test, so you have to be aware of that. They do blood testing, and then after you do that, you will go and you'll pick your top 10 jobs. And then after that, your recruiter will probably give you a few days to think it over, and then you'll have to tell him. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. If you guys have any suggestions or questions, I think my next video will be, I'm going to MEPS 23rd and 24th, and so I'll probably make a video that coming weekend, or maybe that day when I get home, depending on how it goes. But yeah, I probably won't make another video until then unless I get any suggestions or questions. So yeah, thank you for watching my videos, and I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on, and I'll talk to you then.